In this video, I'm going to break down for you how you can sell any product or any service to any customer. Now make sure you stay till the end because what you're going to learn today is an absolute gold mine. Consider this. When it comes to a customer making a decision to buy, there are 4 different personalities of customers that your business is bound to interact with. And it's very important in a sales conversation or in a sales interaction for you and your sales team members to gauge what is the primary motivating factor of this customer, which will determine whether they will spend money on your product or service or not. And once you determine what is the primary motivating factor of that customer, then the positioning of your product or service needs to be in alignment with the customer's primary motivating factor. Now, what do I mean by this? Let me break this down for you through examples and illustrations. Now, it doesn't matter what you're selling. You may be selling a high value product or a low value product. You may be selling a utility product or you may be selling a luxury product. It doesn't matter. Fundamentally, it's about positioning the product or service in a manner where it persuades the person who's buying it to put their money on the table and pick up that product or service from you. So consider this. I may be selling gym services. I may be selling jewelry. I may be selling a luxury car. I may be selling a B2B service like digital marketing or recruitment services or doing corporate gifting for large corporate companies. The product, the service category doesn't matter. What matters is the personality of the person you are pitching your product or service to. So let's understand what are those 4 customer personas. First type of people are who we call necessity-driven customers. Now, who are necessity-driven customers? These are customers who spend money on a product or service only and only if they look at it as an absolute necessity to buy that product or service. Now, the moment you identify this, and I'll teach you a little later how do you identify this, the moment you identify that the person you're pitching your product or service to falls under the category of being a necessity-driven customer, then you got to start positioning your product or service as a necessity. Now, you may be selling a luxury product like jewelry, but you can still position even jewelry as a necessity. For example, if I run a jewelry store and I have a family that comes to buy jewelry for an upcoming wedding in their family, and the decision maker is, let's just say, the father of the bride who's there at my store, and through language, through cues that this person has given me, if I recognize that this person is a necessity-driven customer, then I need to use phrases in my sales like, you need this, you cannot compromise on this, you can't do without it, you can't take a chance when it comes to this. Now, when I do that, that's when I'm establishing and positioning my product or service as a necessity. Same goes if I am running a gym. If I'm running a gym and I identify that the prospect customer who's walked in is driven by necessity, I need to use similar phrases like, you need this, you can't take a chance, you can't compromise, this is a must do for you at this stage. Now, automatically what happens is these phrases that emphasize the product or service as a necessity create a cue in the right brain of that person where they feel more emotionally compelled to invest in that product or service. So that is necessity-driven customers. I mean, you can play with this in any context. Basically, all of this helps in emphasizing that the product or service you're offering is a necessity for that person. So therefore, their inclination is higher to spend money on it. So that's the first type of customers, which is necessity-driven customers. The second type of customers are whom we call convenience-driven customers. Now, who are convenience-driven customers? Essentially, this is the profile of people who invest their money or spend their money only and only if a product or service will make their life simpler, easier, more comfortable, more convenient. Which means if you identify that the person you're pitching your product or service to is driven by convenience, then in that case, you got to use phrases like, this will simplify your life. This will make things very easy. All you need to do is sign up. All you need to do is register. Everything else will be taken care of by us. Now, when you position your product or service as something that will make their life more easy, convenient, faster, simpler, these customers are happy and inclined to buy that product or service. And you can do this for any product, same product or same service. So the key is engaging who is necessity driven, who is convenience driven, and the other 2 profiles as I break it down for you. Now, before I go further, I have a gift that will make your life comfortable and convenient, and I have a gift that's an absolute necessity for you if you're a business owner. So in the description below, I have inserted a link of a 40-minute training which has benefited thousands of business owners and helped them create scalable, profitable businesses. Essentially, in this training, I break down the systems, skills, and strategies required to come out of the trap of firefighting. Now, if you would like to make your life convenient and do what is required in your business so that you are building a scalable, profitable business, then just click on that link. Make sure you watch that training today, because that link expires in some time, and make sure you take action based on what I teach in that training, because that has changed the course of thousands of businesses and put them on the path of building a scalable, profitable business. So use that as a gift today. Now, coming back to the third customer persona, and the third type are who we call as prestige-driven customers. Now, who are prestige-driven customers? These are the kind of people who buy a product or service only and only if they feel that by buying this product or service, they are in a different league. Only and only if they feel that this product or service puts them in the top 1% or 10% of the people. Essentially, these are the people who love vanity, who love this sense of status. And when they are buying a product or service, essentially what they are buying is status. So think about it. If I am someone who runs a gym and I see a prospect customer walking in and I identify that that person's driven by prestige, then I will position the gym as a premium gym. I will say, the who's who of the 5-kilometer radius of this locality works out in this gym. We don't just encourage anyone and everyone to become a member of our gym. So we'd like to understand your profile, because the kind of people who work out over here are of premium profile. Automatically, I'm selling prestige. It's not even about the equipment in my gym. It's about the experience of that person feeling a sense of high status when they are becoming a member of my gym. Same in a B2B environment. I can even do this in a B2B environment if I'm offering recruitment services or marketing services to a corporate brand, where I can say, we work with the creme de la creme in the industry. The best of the best are our clients. And we work with people who think at a certain frequency and wavelength. And that's why they become our clients. You're automatically creating a sense of aspiration and prestige in associating with you. So please understand this. It doesn't matter what product or service you're selling. It's about how you position it based on the customer's persona. You can position every product or every service as necessity, as convenience, or as prestige. And there's one final one, which is the fourth customer persona. So the fourth customer persona is who we call exploration-driven customers. Now, who are exploration-driven customers? These are the type of people who love trying new things. They love exploring new products, services, brands that they've never tried before. When you identify that you are dealing with a prospect customer who falls under this persona of being exploration-driven, then in that case, you got to use phrases like, try this. This is something you've never done before. Or what's the worst that can happen? Just explore it. Or this is your next level. This is something that you've never done or experienced before. Just phrases like that makes them want to explore your product or service. And again, for any product or service, this can be done. Like if I'm selling jewelry, I can go to the extent of saying, based on what you've told me so far, you have this kind of collection, that kind of collection, but you don't have any kind of temple heritage jewelry pieces. Why don't you just try this out once and see how that blends with your costume and how it blends with the occasion? I mean, what's the harm? It's just creating variety in your collection. So exploration driven will automatically resonate with that. Same thing can be done in a B2B environment. If I'm offering recruitment services, I would say something like, hey, listen, you have an internal sourcing team. They are doing and bringing in certain type of profiles. You are working with some vendors for recruitment consultancy. Why don't you try working with us and see the impact of our methodology, where we do 2 rounds of screening before even we send a candidate to you. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You'll get a more screened and qualified candidate for your internal team to interview. So just explore this as your next level to create a tighter process. I mean, the only thing you will experience is better quality by trying this out. So exploration-driven customers love phrases like try it out, explore it, next level, okay, it's an adventure, experience it, give it a shot. They resonate with that. Now, while these are the 4 different customer personas where you can position any product or any service based on their persona, the golden question is, how do we identify who belongs to which customer profile when we are interacting with a prospect? Well, The answer to that is, even before you start pitching your products or services, to have a set of questions to understand the needs of the client. When you understand the needs of the client and you ask them questions of what is it that they are looking for, why is it that they are looking for it, what is it that they want to achieve by buying a product or service, you will notice in their language they will give away phrases which are either communicating that they are necessity driven, or they are comfort or convenience driven, or they are prestige driven, or they are exploration driven. So the key is to ask questions about what do they want, why do they want it, what are they looking at accomplishing through this product or service, and what do they value, or what is it that they are seeking as an intangible emotional experience while they interact with a supplier or a partner or a vendor. When you ask them these questions, they will give away the answers which will tell you which profile do they belong to. I hope you found this video useful. The key is to take this knowledge and play. This is not about perfectionism. It's about progress, giving yourself better skill sets to create a better impact when you're interacting with your customers. So go out there, have fun with this, play with this, and make sure before you leave to click on the link in the description below and complete that 40-minute training right now, because there's nothing called later. So click right now and benefit from what has benefited and added value to thousands of business owners. I'll see you in my next video.